Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at a revenge story. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I worked as a front desk agent in a large luxury hotel chain for some years. One particular hotel I worked at was located really close to the downtown area, and so we got a large number of young, very wealthy business people who love to party. I usually worked the second and third shifts, which meant I got to see loads of drunken hookups, breakups, cheating, and more. This is one I will never forget. I was working at the desk when a group of young, well-dressed men come walking in. They've all clearly been drinking, but aren't so drunk that they can't walk right and hold a conversation. One of them comes up to me and tells me that while he and his friends were at the bar, a woman was hitting on him, and even though he told her no multiple times, she wouldn't stop. So he and his friends left, and it wasn't until they got in the Uber that he realized he didn't have his own room key anymore. He thinks she took it, and he's concerned that she may come up to his room. He asked that I deactivate his keys, and if she does come up to the hotel, to not let her in. When he was telling me all of this, it didn't sit right with me. He and his friends were all grinning about it and snickering amongst one another. Then he gave a clear description of her, without being asked. Told me height, body shape, hair color, and style, the kind of dress she was wearing, all while saying it in a mocking tone. Okay, you can already tell he's the jerk in the story. Now, this could have easily been because he thought the whole thing was ridiculous or was too drunk to take it seriously, but it really didn't sound right to me. Either way, I did as I was trained in that situation. I pulled up his reservation, deactivated the keys as requested, made him a new set when he showed me his ID, and even offered to move him to a new room if that would make him feel more comfortable. He and his buddies all laughed a little at that, and he declined, took the keys, and they went to their room. About an hour or so later, the woman he described showed up. Now, by this point, my relief for the night had also shown up and was sitting at the front desk while I was in the back office counting down my cash drawer. I hadn't had a chance to tell him about the woman. Just as I'm walking out of the back office with my bag and about to leave, I see my coworker buzz the doors open and the woman comes rushing in, cuts through the lobby and down the hall to the elevators. She was barefoot, holding her heels in her hands, and knew exactly where she was going. I rushed up to him and told him what the man from before had told me about her. My coworker looked at me confused. He then pointed to the screen that had the reservation pulled up and told me that when the woman arrived, she went to use the room keys and they didn't work. So he asked for her room number and last name. She gave both, and her name is on the reservation. I looked at the reservation and down in the notes, there was a woman's name listed. The man from before was listed as the primary, but her name was listed as the secondary with his consent to be in the room. I was confused. I thought maybe she wasn't the same woman he was talking about. But to be on the safe side, I called the man in his room and told him the situation and that we allowed a woman fitting that description he gave to enter the building because she confirmed her name was on the room. He laughed, said he forgot her name was on the room and asked that I remove it. I was now super confused. I asked to make sure. What? So that jerk knew the woman? Because her name is also in the room, so they obviously didn't meet at the bar. They knew each other before the bar. Me, sir, just to be clear, the woman you met at the bar tonight was with you at check-in hours ago and was allowed keys then, but now she is not. Him, laughs to all his friends in the room. Oh, guys, I confused the poor girl. Gets back on the phone with me. Yes, sweetheart, she's banned from the room. Don't worry about the other details, just take her name off. Me, I see. Then if she isn't going to be on the room anymore, would you like us to call the police and have her removed from the property? Him, haha, whoa, that's too far there. Don't worry, she'll get the hint soon enough. We ended the call there and I got really suspicious of this. I told my coworker to not do anything and that I was going to stick around for a bit to see if anything happened. A short time later, the woman came off the elevator, pouring tears, sobbing while on the phone with someone. She sat down in our lobby and my coworker and I tried to look busy while eavesdropping hard on her phone call. Why do I find this funny, you know? They're trying to look busy, but they're also like... She was sobbing on the phone to her mum and sister. From what she told them, she was invited out to spend the week with her boyfriend, meeting all of his old college buddies. This being their first night, they all met up for dinner and drinks. After a bit, she went to the restroom, and when she came back, she caught her boyfriend hitting on another woman. His friends all bet that he wouldn't do it. When she confronted him, pissed off, he called her a bunch of names and humiliated her in front of his friends and the entire bar. Wow, all these people are trash, and he said to her face that she was nothing without him and dumped her right there. Oh my gosh. He and his friends then took an Uber back and left her stranded at the bar with no money and no way back. She then had to use her phone's GPS and walk back to the hotel bar from the bar, barefoot. She had heels, and walking 2 miles in those was not going to cut it. She was asking her mum and sister for help, as he wouldn't let her in to get her luggage or her wallet. Oh my gosh, I would have called the police by that point. Oh. Wow, oh my gosh, these people are trash. I feel so bad for the girl. I'm gonna cry, man. Jeez. Okay, let's move on. My heart broke. I felt horrible. I helped this guy treat this poor woman like crap, and now he and all his friends were up there laughing at her while she's sitting in a lobby sobbing and with nothing. I went over to our snacks area in the lobby, grabbed her a bottled water and brought it to her. I told her that I couldn't help but overhear the conversation and was very sorry for her situation and asked if she would like us to help. I informed her that if he was keeping her from getting to her things, we could call the police and have them force him to hand over her things so she could leave if she liked. Or if she wanted to let her mum or sister pay for a room, we'd be happy to give her a very low rate in a room far from him. She thanked me, took the water and tried to calm down and talk to me about what was happening and what her options were. Eventually we decided on her staying in the hotel for the night and figuring out the rest in the morning. As we make it to the desk, she asked me to try and run her credit card to see if she has enough on it for another room. I ask her what she means by another room, and she tells me that she's actually paying for the room he's in. That his name is on the room because he booked it, but it's her card paying for everything. What a piece of trash human being, like seriously? You're gonna embarrass her and humiliate her and not let her in the room that she's paying for? This intrigued me. I asked why she was paying for the room if it was in his name. She told me that she's the one with the job, not him, that he hasn't been able to find a job in his field since graduating from college and is essentially living off of his parents' money. That audacity he has though, seriously? You're living off of your girlfriend and this is what you do? The audacity. But just after they started dating, his parents cut him off, so he's been living off of her money. That's why she was so upset and confused by how he had been acting all night. He was sweet and doing everything for her back home. But since he met up with his friends, he did a 180 and hasn't been the same guy the entire time. Oh my gosh, there's people like this. There are people like this. Like, they're all nice to their significant other at home and being like all lovey-dovey, but once they meet up with their friends, they act completely different and they disregard their partner, you know? They're like, oh yeah, that's just no one, I don't care about her. But when they go back home, they're like, I love you so much, honey. Like, you know how some guys baby talk to their girlfriends at home? I trust guys who do it around their friends too, okay? Like, baby talk at home and baby talk around your friends too. I wanted to tell her that it was obvious he was using her for the money and that he would probably blame his friends for all of this and try to get back with her later on. That's so true. But I doubted she would have listened to me or cared for a complete stranger to butt in on her personal life like that. So instead, I offered up a sweet piece of revenge. I informed her that considering she's the one paying for the room, if she can confirm that it is her card on file with some sort of photo ID and verify the last 4 digits of the card number, that's honestly all this hotel company required. Then she could, if she wanted to, kick him out of the room and keep it all to herself. But considering how poorly her night has been, if she were indeed able to prove she is the one paying for the room, then I'd be more than happy to provide her the biggest luxury upgrade we offered at our property. Largest suite we had, full hotel amenity access. I'd even have my coworker fish out a bottle of champagne and some fresh strawberries for her to have sent to her room, all free of charge. She was taken aback by the offer and was very sincerely tempted. She looked like she was about to say no. Then I told her that since she would be upgrading her room, that would require moving her things from that room and into her new one, which means the room that she is currently listed in would need to be vacated immediately. If anyone were to remain in the room after we demanded it to be vacated, we are required to have them escorted off the property or they pay for the room, their choice. She then thought about it, put up her card's baking app and showed me the screen. It had a photo of her full name, the card's full number, and the hold from our hotel for the room. She asked if that worked. It was good enough for me. I quickly upgraded her, moved everything over in the system, and before I could say a word to my coworker, he was already grabbing a set of master keys. Oh my gosh, I'm about to cry because they're so nice. Okay, a bell cut and was asking her what her luggage looked like, since he would be the one retrieving it for her to deliver to her room. He didn't want her to have to deal with her ex again. Sorry, this is just too wholesome now. She smiled and told him which ones were hers and that she hadn't unpacked yet. My coworker runs down the elevators and up to fetch her things, while I make her a new set of keys and send her off to her new room. Once she's in the elevator, my phone at the desk starts ringing. It's the ex-boyfriend and he's very angry about why my coworker has entered the room and is taking her things. I calmly explain that I cannot give out private information of any of our guests and that if he would like to remain in his room, he will need to pay for it as there is no longer a method of payment on his room. I am so happy. He blew up. You don't even have the right to blow up, okay? You're not even paying for the room. Why are you blowing up? I'm so pissed that he has such a good partner and he's paying for his livings and stuff, right? Whatever. And he's doing this. Like, I don't understand people like this, you know? It's the audacity that they think they're so good, really, using their parents' money. He's making a ton of demands and at the same time yelling at my coworker to stop what he's doing. But it's obvious from the way he's yelling at him that my coworker isn't listening to him. I can even hear the guy's friends telling him to chill out and just pay for the room. I then explain that we will give him a courtesy of 10 minutes to make a decision. At which point, if he doesn't have payment ready, then he must vacate the building or we will be forced to call the authorities and have him evicted. He then continues to yell at me. He screams and yells for a solid minute before taking a breath. I then tell him he has 9 minutes remaining and ask if he has come to a decision yet. He hangs up on me. That's hilarious. He's so mad and the guy working is just like, okay, you have 9 minutes left to yell. 9 minutes later, I call the room and he doesn't answer. I call again, no answer. I call a third time, he picks up, then immediately hangs up. I call the police and tell them what's going on and they said they're on the way. Yes. The officers arrive, I tell them what's going on. We go up to the room together and the man and his friends are all white as ghosts when they see the cops. The cops explain to the ex-boyfriend and his friends that they're being evicted. The ex-boyfriend starts trying to talk to me, but the cops stop him and tell him to only talk to them. I told him about his attitude on the phone before. The friends are all offering to pay for the room at this point, and the cops look to me and ask if that would be acceptable. I smile very sweetly and say, no. And the cops nod and start rushing all of the guys to grab their things and leave the room. The ex-boyfriend is the last one out the door, carrying his 2 bags and complaining that he isn't even given a luggage cart and has to carry his own things. His friends all looked pissed at him. Oh, what a big baby. You didn't give me a luggage cart. I had to carry my own things with my bare hands. I go with the officers to escort all of them out of the building and run into my coworker in the lobby. He waits until they're all outside in the parking lot to tell me that the woman is in her new room, loves it, and said no to the champagne. She just wanted to sleep. I didn't get to see her before she left town the next day, but the ex-boyfriend did try calling our hotel to complain a number of times and even tried leaving some bad reviews of us online and lied through all of it. I hope she doesn't have to deal with him again. You guys are so good, man. If only all workers were like this, you know. So wholesome. That was a really good revenge, honestly. It wasn't even really a revenge, it was just what was supposed to happen, you know? Like the girl and her ex-boyfriend are basically strangers now, so you're not even supposed to stay in someone else's room, okay? If you're gonna treat her like that in front of your friends, expect her to treat you like a stranger, you know? Oh, I hate guys like this. Ooh, I've read about so many people being trashed, right? But like this one is like next level. He's such a kid, honestly. He thinks this is the type of thing that's funny. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!